So we're getting closer and closer to Taylor's Valley, and I'm not sure I'm gonna have this view again, so I'm gonna turn the camera around and take a picture of a trestle on the old creeper trail that when I was a kid I used to jump off of it, and actually stopped over here yesterday or the day before and saw some relatives, and it was the whole gang of us that used to jump off of this trestle, and they brought it up, and I just happened to have a picture. Hurricane Helene washed it out totally, along with most of the trestles on the Virginia Creeper Trail, and this one is totally gone. I don't even know what to say. There's Fred Parker's yard and the store building, and that's the Creeper Trail. I think we'll go around this way. I don't see any way to get down except right here, or go back to where that orange pipe is.
That's the little caboose thing, right?
Yeah, we got to go down that train track. We got to get over there. So I could go down this. I think maybe the easiest way looks like where that orange pipe is going down over there. And see the board going across? Unless you think you can get down that mud right there. We could go on down further and cut across. This is where I grew up. I got devastated by the hurricane. It's amazing. But it's pretty cool to come hike the Appalachian Trail and take the little blue blaze and camp here. It is a gorgeous place. Most of my relatives on my mom's side, on my granny's side of my dad's mom, are buried in the cemetery up there on top of the hill. And one more quick story. Somehow my grandfather got a hold of a whole bunch of refrigerator boxes years and years ago when I was a kid. And we hiked up that road beside the cemetery there, and then went up straight mountain right there. And we carried the refrigerator boxes all the way up there, and we used them as sleds and slid down through the pine forest down that mountain for fun. I think it was about 10 of us. And I still remember that. It was a good time. Taylor's Valley, Virginia. In the summertime, I think it's 130,000 bicyclists would ride from White Top Mountain down the Virginia Creeper Trail, which was right here, or is right here. It's closed at the moment because of all the damage between White Top and Damascus. And they would stop here. It was a little bit over halfway down the trail, and take a break, go to the Creeper Trail Cafe, and there's another one around the corner called Hellbenders. And it's on the old train bed where the train went from Abingdon to West Jefferson, North Carolina every morning and came back every night. And when I was a kid, we would come down here and play on the tracks, and we'd hear the train coming, and the train would stop sometimes or go by, and we would wave at my grandfather, who was the postmaster on the train, delivering mail to Green Cove and White Top and all the little towns along the Creeper Trail. And it got its name because it had a really steep grade going up the mountain to White Top. And it was slow. And I still remember in 1977 coming down here, and it was kind of a big deal when the last train came through and it stopped here, and the whole valley was here to take pictures and see it off for the last time. And then the Creeper Trail came in, and hundreds of thousands of people enjoy Taylor's Valley every year now, and I hear they're starting to do some work on the trail, and hopefully it'll be open in a year or two. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Still pretty deep. Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I don't know how we manage this, but we always get the light behind us. We got into Damascus a day early. We were coming in to a resupply, and
Visit.
two of our friends, Dan and Holly from Fredericksburg, Virginia, wanted to do some trail magic for us.
Yes.
And
Thank you, Dan and Holly.
they were going to ride the Virginia Creeper Trail too. And they got us an Airbnb. And so we stayed in Damascus with them and had a great time.
Exploring. We did Backbone Rock.
Yep. And they love the Creeper Trail. It's only open from Abingdon to Damascus, but they had a ball. So we shuttled them up there and dropped them off. And then they were back an hour after we got back. They rolled, but they loved it. And then we left late yesterday afternoon. April had some family business that required high-speed internet to move some documents around. And we got out of Damascus at 3:30, and we hiked just below the Saunders shelter about almost 8 miles and camped on the creek bank in Taylor's Valley, Virginia.
It was kind of a dream come true.
And right now we're actually walking on the old Appalachian Trail, pre-1977. It came through Taylor's Valley when the train tracks were here, just to our left in the video. And when the train track got removed, the Virginia Creeper Trail started through the Rails to Trails program, and a bunch of volunteers and companies and the Forest Service that bought a bunch of land. And now about 130,000 people a year do the Creeper Trail. And when I was a kid, you might have seen 2 cars you didn't recognize in a day. And when the Creeper Trail came in, there were 100,000 people plus coming down this little stretch of road right here. But we had a great time.
We did. It's just beautiful here. It's kind of hard to leave this morning.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it or not, but up there on the hill there's a brick house and some land. That's where my grandparents lived, and I grew up there with my sister and our friends most of the time when we weren't in school. And the hurricane just really ravaged this area. So last night we camped on the White Top Laurel, which is this creek right next to us. And growing up, we played in that creek every day. And we camped right by the creek last night. And then right behind us, in this lot right here, this was my great-grandmother's house. 6 boys and 6 girls. And I stayed there when I was a kid. And it got washed away in the hurricane. And the Mennonite Disaster Services rebuilt my cousin Linda's house and her husband Carl, Uncle Carl and Aunt Linda we call them, up on the hill. And we just walked up there to visit, and they did an amazing job. And thank you to that group. They rebuilt 7 houses here in the area.
Full of kindness and compassion.
Yep.
Just amazing.
And my family land is right up that street. My sister's building a house there now. And my aunt lives in my grandparents' house. And another aunt owns, my dad's sister Judy she owns the land closer down the hill here. So yeah, I'm related to just about everybody in any of those houses you see right there in one form or fashion, with both sets of great-grandparents living in Taylor's Valley.
It's amazing.
I'm related to people on both sides of the track, as they say. My great-grandmother, my great-granny on my mom's side lives about a mile up the valley, at the end of the valley. before you start going up Chestnut Mountain in a log cabin. She passed away in the 80s, but the house has stayed in the family ever since. And that's where we were going to stay, in the log cabin. And I haven't stayed there in probably 50 years, but I've visited a lot. And turned out we got trail magic from Holly and Dan, which was amazing. And we just went up there to visit. But man, this is
Absolutely gorgeous.
one of the most beautiful places in the world.
And so peaceful.
Yeah. So we're getting ready to hike up that mountain right there, Straight Mountain. Saunders Shelter is about 3/4 of the way up, about where the bottom flag is. And last night when we were camping here, we saw headlamps up there. So there were people in front of us yesterday. And we're gonna go by that and hike
Keep hiking.
over behind the cemetery and go up White Top Mountain today and try to get 13 or 14, 15 miles in. And we'll be taking videos all day. So I think that's a wrap. Anything else?
Just so grateful I got to come here and camp. We had talked about it for ages and weren't sure we were going to be able to make it happen with all the devastation, but sure enough, persistence pays. Here we are.
There's a story in the family that this section of land from the bridge behind us down the river that way is deeded to all of the grandchildren. And so I need to double check that. But if that's true, we camped on my land last night. In any case, it's a community that I'm related to everybody. I'm sure at least one of them would have said we could camp here. So it was fun. We're gonna get on the trail. We're all packed up. Sun just came out warm, so peel off a layer already and
Oh, I'm good.
go back through the mess down there where the river split and created a new river. So we have to navigate that again. But once we get up on the trail, everything's good. So we got our tick spray on, and
Safety first.
we'll see you up on White Top.
Have a nice day.
Taylor's Valley, Virginia. Just did a big climb. We're way up here. All right, Pacesetter.
That was an amazing climb and totally worth it because every minute we were overlooking Taylor's Valley. So I have stinging eyes from the sweat, but I don't even care.
How was your morning?
Amazing, hot, sweaty, climb. Only climbing up with switchbacks.
She says she's renaming Virginia.
Virginia is not for lovers. Virginia is for switchbacks.
All right. Here we are up here on the hill. Probably one of the last times we'll see Taylor's Valley till we're done with the trail and drive back through to see my sister's new house.
And all the family.
And my family again.
So exciting.
So that's the story from 1.78 miles into the 14-mile hike.
1.7 straight up only.
It's called Straight Mountain for a reason.
Yes, it should have been called Straight Up Mountain.
That's right. All righty. We'll talk
Have a nice day.
to you later.